fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. Hope you're all having a lovely day. Hello, Nick. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. Hello.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. We'll be continuing our really quick mini series on auto enter versus calculations. Who should do the thinking in your FileMaker solution? If you'd like to support the channel, we'd greatly appreciate it. Feel free to pick up one of our FM Training annual subscription bundles. Yes, these things. For people who do not like the live stream format, I highly recommend you go give this a look. If you do like the live stream format but you want to support us, that's greatly appreciated. Or if you need a very specific answer, like top question answered, and the live stream doesn't have an answer for you, we cover a lot of FileMaker topics on this series in depth um, and in video format. So if you need that kind of explanation or you learn that way, it'll be helpful to you. Last comment I think I've got is that if you are looking for FileMaker development assistance, feel free to reach out to us at support@rcconsulting.com. If you decide you don't want to learn it yourself or you hit like something difficult like an API integration or whatever, we are happy to help you. You just got to give us an email. Let us know what's going on. We have a host of senior engineers who are capable of assisting you, including Nick himself. So, with that all being said, Nick, what are we doing today?
Yes, we continue this relookup versus an auto entry or auto entry versus lookup, right? Story. And so today I want to talk about two or three things very interesting, how this stuff works. Okay. So, so we discovered that what the relookup is doing, what it's not doing, what the auto entry is doing. We discovered that auto entry is doing much more than the relookup, right? And pretty much the relookup is still useful for very few little things, right? But it's not used. I don't use that as I used to. In the past, I wasn't even using auto entry, by the way, for that kind of updating from related data, right? When you want to update related data, we were using auto entry, but now with this trigger technique of mine, okay, this is a game changer in many ways. So yesterday, somebody in the audience, Renato, said that you can use as a trigger a field with the, with a modification, the auto modification. That means each time you modify the record, this field will get modified. Ergo, if you modify this field automatically, if FileMaker modifies this field automatically, right? If you attach an auto entry as a trigger with this, automatically enter modification timestamp, right? Or, timestamp, yeah. It's a timestamp, so modification. Well, that updates this field. That works. But the problem is, again, you have absolutely no control. Each time you modify the field, each time you modify something here, all your calculation will get updated. Why? Right? Each time you modify, I don't know, you modify this, boom, all the calc modified, right? So do you want that to happen? No, because if you have sometime I have a 60 or 65 fields with auto entry on triggers. That means each time I modify this, I have the spinning wheel for 4 or 5 seconds. We don't want that, especially when it's not necessary. You want to update something when the change occurs, right? So it works, you can use that, but it's not and you have another problem. Let's say this field, for example, is attached with this change on, right? If I want to blank this, if I validate, boom, it come back because I changed the record. Doing this, you change the record. Ergo, you trigger this, so you come back. So pretty much you have all the inconvenience of a calc field, because a calc field you cannot modify it, right? If I, you know it. So, and you have no control. So, yeah, it triggers. It's okay, but it's like a tickle. It's the same, right? The same thing. So it's, yeah, it can be interesting, but it's not giving much of an advantage, in my opinion, to do that, So let me back to make back what it was. It was the triggers account. No, trigger initial. And let me see if I have all the trigger, all address, all accounts, and the full name, that automatic, name and account, okay. Okay, so now here I have, let's blank this, make sure that everything blank, okay. Don't care this, okay. Let's blank this, and blank this, okay. So here I have, yeah, 3 records, okay? John, George, and Nicholas, okay? And let's blank all of them, okay? Those 2. So what happens if I go, okay? Remember, I want to trigger the update from this, so this is the accounts related to those 3 records. They're all related with the same ID, right? They're all related to that account. This, same ID, this ID, right? The same, right? So this record, these 3 records are related to this record. So what happens if I change the name, new sales, RCC demo, okay? What about I change the name of this, right? So far nothing happened. And here I have the trigger, right? On the related field. This is a related field. This is the field coming from the contact, right? What happens if I update this, right? And this happened. Boom. So whatever I do, it will always update only one record. Okay? So let me explain. Because this now involves auto entry, relationships, So we start digging in the voodoo stuff. Okay. So these 3 records, they're all related to this account by the ID here. Ergo, I can put a poller here, go to the contact table, right? And show those 3 records. John, George, Nicholas. So if I change the name and I change it, I update this, Who is going to get updated? John. Always. Out of the three. Out of the three, always get John updated. Why? Because it is the first record in the relationship, right? If I go here and I see list of the contacts, full name, this is my list. John, George, Nicholas. John always first. Okay? So what happened, right? If I go into the relationship, right? And I specify here that I want to change descending the last name. I change the relationship. I change the sort. I want from when I'm here, I want this list coming from contact to be sorted like this. What happened? Boom. George Wilson is first. I did on purpose, because I said by last name, descending, WSH, right? Ascending would have been HSW. Okay. So what happened if I update this? Who is going to get updated? George get updated because he's now the first in the list. Okay? So when you have multiple relations, when you are in a relationship that is one to many, right? We are in a relationship like this now. We are one to many. When you are in that type of relationship, if you do something like this, that means you update something, right? You target always the first record, which comes from the sort or the absence of sorting. When you say no, don't sort, right? So now, let's say this is good, but I'm here and I want to update the three. So how you do that? Go, I ask. I don't want to leave that here. I don't want to leave the account table. I don't want to leave that window. From here, I want to update those records. Nope. So Renato says list of IDs. No. I don't want to leave that. I don't want to leave. I'm going here, right? And I'm doing this. Replace. Yes, it's true. I replace this field, this related field. Don't forget, it's a related field. And I replace by get the timestamp. Right? What will happen here? Well, it will replace the timestamp on all related records from all the records in that field throughout that relationship as it is now based on this situation where I have this account ID 6F3C, etc. Right? So the relationship returned free records. That means I'm going to replace this in free records. And he said more here, but because he found more, but it shouldn't. It should be here. No, sometimes it's weird. It just did those free for sure. Let me check. Yeah, but this is how many records I have here from this? Only three, right? So I can that's why I have last modification because this is a free I just updated, right? So it updates. Let me blank this, right? I want to know what he's doing. Because here, this is based on the account, right? So, yeah, but okay, hold on. Yeah. So I'm here. I do this, right? And I do the get. I'm going to explain that. Get timestamp, right? And I do replace. So it did the replace on those three. Okay. Why? Is because I was in that record only. Let's say now, right? I am on two records, right? And I update this. Now it did more, right? It did on CF3, right? And 1B7E. So let's say now, right? I do like 6 records, right? And I do a replace. So this is freaking cool because you can be okay. I am on 5 accounts, 3 accounts, 4 accounts, and I want to update all related records from that 4 accounts. Right? So you have full control. You can say, okay, I want to update only that record. So you go to the account and you say replace, right? And that will update, like you can see here. Let's blank this. Okay. So, right? So if I go there and I go to the first, so I isolate the first, right? This one. And I update this. He update those 3 records. Because we're busy. Oh, the record busy. Okay, yeah, the record is busy. So let's do it again. The record were busy and didn't like it. Timestamp. Okay, place. Boom. Right? Great. So now you know that. Let's say you want to update. So from here, by placing a field the trigger field that belongs to that table by placing it in the layout, by replacing, doing a replace in that field, that will replace from the font set here all the related records of that font set and trigger the updates, right? Let's say I want to blank those, blanking, right? And this is the modification I'm using, right? So I'm showing you that. Let's blank this. So let's say I want to update this one, this one, this one. So I update 3 accounts. Okay. I'm going here and say, okay, replace, right? And here what happened? Oh, he came here. He came. Why he came automatically? Okay, hold on. I want to blank this. Okay. Okay, blank. Going here, and I say get timestamp. Boom. That's the only one I updated. Okay. So now you got it. So you can do that, right? So you can use the trigger and from the parent table, and you using a field that belong here, updating from here, and that doing the updates, trigger this and bring the data. So why the trigger step is the child table, not in the parent? Because okay, so if I put the trigger field here in the parent table, what that does? Here is to collect, say, okay, I want you to go there. I want you to go there. This field belongs here. This field belongs to contact, related table contact. It belongs to that table, contact. So I want the replace to occur in contact. And since this record here is related to 3 contacts, the replace from these fields, in these related fields, will go to that 3 related field. If I put that in a parent table, what it does nothing. It will replace a trigger and do nothing. By replacing, when I'm here, I replace the data inside this table. By doing this, don't forget that this field is the remote control to activate the update in this. That's what I want to demonstrate. Is that, otherwise, how you do that? Tell me, David. I mean, you put the trigger here, and how you can trigger from here, from that table accounts. You want all the related contact here to get updated. Tell me. I'm asking how to do that. Right. So
Uh,
this
we
is, yeah, go ahead.
we have a question from YouTube. What triggers
Yeah.
the trigger?
What the trigger is the trigger?
Yes.
What trigger is the trigger? I don't understand the question.
What triggers the trigger? Like, Stu, if you
What?
want to be a little more
Yeah, yeah.
expand about what trigger you're referring to specifically.
No, the David Angel, the trigger needs to be in the table. This trigger here belongs to contact, is this field here. By placing here the field, this record, this record here, the 63C, is related to three other guys by this IDF foreign key, right? So those three guys, those three records. So instead, okay, let me explain again. Let me explain again. Instead of what trigger is the trigger? I don't know. Don't understand. I'm sorry. Okay, so you here, right? So what you do normally, you said, okay, I want to update those three. I'm changing the name here. Okay. Oh, now I change the name. I want to go to those three records and change the name. Okay. So you go there, you copy this. You go there. You go there. You find in accounts. And then you trigger this, right? And you replace and boom. No, not this one. The other one. Yeah, this one. This one, sorry. You go there, you update. You do that, right? You do a script that says copy account ID, go to layout, contacts, perform find, contacts, IDF, accounts, perform find, then go to fields, replace field with, and then replace, right? That's what you do. A script like that. You do like a 5-line, 10-line scripts. Okay, you can do that like this, right? But I prefer, I go to my contact, I go here, right? Accounts, and I say replace this. And at the same time, let's say you want to do that, you want to update not only one, right? So you want to update this. Look. Look. I have three. Let's say I want more. I want this, right? I have four accounts. This account, this has two records. This has one record, right? One, two, three. I change the name here, right? I change the name here. Not like 6. Right? I change the name everywhere. Right? So now I said, okay, I want to update all of this, right? I want to update with the timestamp, I replace, right? And boom, I get my 4 updated, right? Without any problem. Only those 4. If you want to do that with a trigger and go to the record, and you need a loop, go first record, loop, go to record contact, replace, right? Go back, go to a layout, or let's build the script. Okay. No, because you want demo, right? Let's do the demo. So here's the script. Let's say I modify the name here, and I want to update those four, right? Okay, let's build the script. I will do it. I know the script. So first, right? First, you need a loop. Okay. Then you say, first, you need to make sure, go to record first, right? Then you go to the loop and you say, go to related record. You go there and you say you want to contact, show only, right? Then you say, okay, replace fields, and in contact, the field is the account, and you want to replace this with the get timestamp, right? Then, right, you say go to record next, go to record next, and on, exit after last, right? But before, you need to say go to layouts original, right? Okay, so that's the script you need to do, and that fast for you, that fast, right? That is a fast. That's very, very efficient, right? No, it's not. It is not, right? Because when you master this, right? And let's say, yeah, but you want to update many other things. Let's say I have another table. I have a project table. Yeah, I have a project table. I have an ID project, and I have the title. Okay. Oh. Okay. Correct. And of course, I have the account name, right? Account name related to the accounts. And here in my account name, and of course, I have my trigger, and the account name is let trigger field equal trigger, and I go to accounts, and I want the name, right? So now I can create. So let's take an account. Let's take this account, or this one. Okay. I'm going to the project table. Okay. Oof, I hate this. Okay. And I'm putting those. Okay. And I have the first project here, project 1, right? And I have a new record, project 2, and project 3. Okay? And they're all, for example, related to that account. Okay, all of them. So if I go, sorry, here, if I do that, of course, the name comes. Okay. Okay. So they're all related to that account. But what happened if, so I have 3 records right here, and I have 3 records here. So let me so let's say here I have 3 records with the account name new set RCC 444, and the same here, right? So what happened if I change this to 555? Well, and I want to update this on 2 tables. Well, guessed it. Very easy. I'm getting this from projects that might trigger from projects, right? So what happened? If I trigger this, make sure I have only this one. Okay. I'm triggering this, right? I replace here, and I do replace. So that update does 3. And I do the same here. Replace. And that do the same here. So you here and you replace. Of course, I have if I have a script, I have no need to have the field on the layouts, right? I'm doing that manually to show you. But if you script all of this, right? Boom, you go to you there, right? So pretty much, let's say you say, okay, I want, when I change the name here, I want a script right? So the script is this, replace field contents, and you say in account, inner contacts, this, sorry, and change with get timestamp. Don't forget to say this because that's what you want to do. By updating this field, you want the auto entry to be performed. And you say this, and you do the same to projects, right? And you place this trigger on record commits. Nice. And now I change this. Update it. Right? Correct? So now we have plenty of off topic. Has anyone else seen this web after the device wakes from sleep? Okay, no, this is other annotated weird. Okay.
Yeah,
so we have another. Yeah, go ahead.
What runs that script when you make a change on the name, or am I missing something?
what run the scripts? It's a trigger on record
Yeah, I think he's
commit.
asking what trigger it is on record
Yeah,
commit.
on record commit. Yeah. Okay.
Uh, and then you're doing replace manually. How can I do this automatically when changing the name field?
Yeah, that was just what I just did. So maybe you have a script that says replace. Replace the trigger in the account, replace the trigger in contacts and replace the trigger in projects. So replace both. But here's the catch. So if you declare in the let, then when the trigger timestamp is modified, will be update those fields. Okay, if you declare in the let, then when the trigger timestamp is modified, will update. Okay, I have the calc lives in the contacts. In contacts, the contacts are related to the accounts by an ID, a foreign ID. Okay, I have the name of the account, the initial of the account. I have plenty of stuff. I have another field here, name account, the name and the account name. Okay. All of those are related to this trigger. When I modify this in the contact table, right, that trigger all those auto entry. That's why I call that trigger. Okay, so that's why they're here. They are here. Sorry, here, right? So they are in the let statement in the contact table to update that field name, account name, and I want the account name, right? Okay. So now, what happens if I display this field that exists in the table contact? This field exists in the table contact, but I show it in the contact table, in the contact layout as a related field that lives in contact. What happens if I modify that field from here? This exists in contacts, not in account. But I am related to records in contact thanks to that ID. Those three, they're linked 6F3, 6F3, they're linked. This is a parent key, this is a foreign key. These fields that exists in the contact table, this field responsible for updating plenty of fields in contact table. What happened if I replace the data, I change the field that exists in contact and I update it from the related record accounts? Well, that says, okay, this field exists in contact. You want me to display it in account. That's okay, because that FileMaker for the beginning of time is capable of doing this. And then you say, okay, you want to replace this field using the replace function feature. So, okay, I'm going to go throughout. Okay, I know how to explain that. Okay. Doing this, right, is like doing this. Is the same thing. replace in the poll and replace those. It's the same. But you're doing from here. You don't need a poll. You need to go there and update. It's doing the same thing. Because this is a related field. It's related. See the double column here? It's related. Is in contact, not in current table accounts. So ergo, yes, it modifies data in the contact table. Doing so, since this field is responsible of triggering a bunch of auto entry calculation, but if I change from here, it's going to update all the auto enter calculation in the contact table. Is that answer?
They said got it.
Okay. So now you got the advantage of this, because now if you're smart enough and you have a bunch of triggers and you say, okay, when I modify one invoice, I modify the total of an invoice, go to all my contact table, go to the contact record, but you don't have to go to the record, go to the layout, go your invoice, just replace the trigger from invoice that points to contact, and that trigger is involved in refreshing the total invoiced for the current year, for example. Whatever. Right? So now, since you got the principle, okay? You got it, right? You notice something, is that it can be, if I change the name here, I have only 3 records, right? 3 records here and 3 records in the other table, right? I have 3 records here. Are you sure you got it? Or because David Angel didn't answer, are you sure you got it? Because, or you don't, you want me to stop screaming? Marge?
Yes, they stopped screaming, so I think we are good.
No, I mean, they want me to stop screaming, or they got it for real?
They said they got it, so
Okay. So I have 3 records here and 3 records here. If I change the name here, right? If I change the name, it's going to update the name on those 6 records, because I have an on commit trigger. And look what happened. I have spinning wheel, okay, for some time. I have spinning wheel because I'm updating locally, okay? So see here, if I show you, if I go, right? I'm going to change the name, make it small. If I change the name here, see here, is going to change this on those 6 records, but it takes some time, okay? So what if we have a much simpler way to do that and faster way? I mean, it's the same, but we do that on server. Okay? So how we do that on server? First, we need a nice script. It's a trigger on record commit. Right? We have two scripts. We have a trigger, and then we have the companion pieces. Right? Oh, I go there. Okay. Ah, I hate this button. Okay. I have two scripts. This scripts, right? It perform script on server, right? Which is the pieces. And in the parameter, right? I say, I want the ID account, right? I mean, the ID where I am now, of the account where I am now. Yeah, and now I am this account. And the pieces go to layout account, right? And do those two things. First I need to set variable account ID, get script parameters. So remember, this script send with the parameter, I'm sending the ID account. This script gets the account ID, get it from the parameter. I go to that layout, I perform a find, which is perform a find, right? I look for that ID in, and I replace those two things. I do the replace. So pretty much, I said the server, okay, this is the ID of the account where I am now. Server, go to the layout, look for that account, and do the replace yourself. Don't ask me, clients at the other side of the planet, to do it. Do it yourself. Okay? Right? So now, you remember when you do it locally, if I change this, I have this, blah, 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 boom. Okay? Well, it's not cool. Instead, I'm doing this. Advantage is this. Commit. It's done. Right? It will do the change, right? If he didn't do it, it's because something else happening here. So why? Let me debug this now. So why perform script on server? I send the ID, set, get account record. Oh, yeah. Okay, so here we are. The problem of the commit. Okay? This is a big problem. And that, I forgot that I'm going to enter that problem, but since it's there, let me explain. Why did it work? It didn't work because this. So if I do this, I change this, and it didn't do it. He update with the name before. If I do 5, it will become 4. If I do 1, 2, 3, 4, it's become 5. If I do 2, 3, 4, like this, it become 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's play. Right? So he always have 1 behind. Okay? Because when you update this, when you do the commits, the script happen when an attempt is made to commit record change in this layout. When an attempt is made, it doesn't say after the commit happened. It says before the commit happened. So it means that when the script on server do the thing, right? Try to do the thing, it says the record is busy. The record is busy because I am in, because I didn't do the commit yet. The commits didn't happen because the script ran before the commit happened. So the technique is this. You say the script on server, all done, all done. Please wait. Hold a second, right? You hold a second while the field is commit. That means I commit, launch the scripts on server and do the change. Wait until I do it again. The field, the record is busy. Correct? It's busy right now. Now I said, when I click outside, I said, okay, server, go there, find this record, and replace this field. And he said, no, I cannot do it. I'm too fast. You didn't commit yet the record over there in Greece. It's not committed yet. I did it before because a trigger on record commit happened before the commit, not after. But if I say, okay, before committing, launch the scripts, right? Wait 1 minute, 1 second. At that time, here the record now is committed. You wait 1 second and boom, you can do it. Got it or not?
I think people are saying we have a question about
Yeah, now if
when you commit, you
to
lost
field
ID.
A and
Oh yeah,
B.
and then
In
David's
field
question.
A has a let with the field B. Yeah, you will get a never a circular, So one will undo the other. So you never do that, right? And there's nothing you can do here, Like you get this most of the time when you say these dates before the other and the other date after the other, right? So something like that, when you say this is circular reference and there's no way you can fix it. But did you get it, the wait stuff? What?
Why, we've got a quick question. Why not just drop a commit in the script?
it won't help. You will do how many commits you want to do? Commit on where? On script? Oh, on the trigger? It won't help. You just what you do, you're going to do 2 triggers. But it will never happen. You need to wait. The server need to wait 1 second. So why you want to do something else that doesn't work and not doing something that I just demonstrate that works, like, you know. So that you want here to say commit, right? So you want to commit a commit. Where that will help, right? Because, okay, 2, yeah, it will work. Apparently worked. Okay. It works. But you launch twice. That's what I don't like. So you commit once, right? So the record is commit, then you perform, right? And you commit twice. Well, I don't know. Well, it works, yeah. So you put a commit in a commit. Okay. But this, much more elegant in my opinion. I mean, because, you commit twice. So here you're sure, you commit only once, you said this, right? And that's it. And you wait, right? But I never do that because it can generate problem when you have 2 commits in 1 commit, right? So that means you commit and commit. And then you have this. Because most of the time, it's not that simple when I'm doing things, right? But it works, But this is more elegant because you say, okay, stop, wait until the record is committed, right? You might run into problem when you have a 2 commit in the trigger, right? Because that means every time you commit something, you commit twice. You commit and then twice, right? You commit in the commit. So I have no idea what can be triggered because it's weirdo. Here, the advantage is you don't have to worry about what happened, right? So you boom, and you have the second here you wait, right? If you use like Xcode, C++, stuff like this is what they do, they pause, they wait, because you manage the flow much better like this. But yeah, it works. To put the commit before. So you have a commit in the commit, right? Like this. So when you commit that, it commits the record, right? And then you perform this. It's okay. Let me put it here in case of the demo. Okay, any other question?
Just people saying thank you.
Yeah. So this replace avoids many other problems, right? Because for example, when you manage this, so tomorrow I'm going to show you something, right? That you use a table like a global table, right? and you create dedicated relationships. So you don't need to go actually to you can just go to the real record. You can go somewhere else, right? And do your stuff without bothering, because here's the catch. You want to get away from your real data the most as possible. Like, for example, when you update this, right? When you update this, the problem was, right, that the record were busy, okay? Right? The record were busy and you couldn't update it. So you need to commit twice or do the pause, right? And this is not good practices when you want something efficient and when you have a lot of users and you want to make sure that your records are the less as busy as less as possible. Okay? So there's ways to update, to do all of this without going to the record. Still doing the same technique. So I'm going to show you that tomorrow, right?
Works for me. Cool. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nick, for presenting. Thank you, everyone,
Thank
for
you.
being a really active audience.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm
Thank
going
you.
to run the closing music.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
No.